Hey, Iostex here. I am a professional FPS coach and former professional coach for Overwatch League organizations like the New York Excelsior and the Boston Uprising, with now more than 5 years of professional coaching experience under my belt, running the biggest private coaching business over at iostex.com and helping out players for free over on my Discord's Ask Stux Anything channel.
Okay.
In this match, we should have won, but in the end of the match, I think we start doing a lot of mistakes.
Okay. I'm sharing the screen. You should be able to see the game.
Yeah, I can see
All right, let's look at some top tier hitscan gameplay.
it.
Okay. So, what's your mission? What's your game plan? Like right in this moment, the game just started. What do you want to do?
I want to start and look for maybe an early pick, so we can have the advantage for the enemy team.
Okay, so you want to start out with kind of a pick-based playstyle.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's see how that goes. Ooh, that was a really juicy flick. Okay. So far the fight is pretty even, not much has happened. Okay, so we tried to go for the pick, but what outcome did we get?
I died.
Okay, that's a bad outcome, so now we need to ask ourselves what we can try differently, or maybe why it didn't work. So you wanted to go for a pick-based playstyle. Why did you die here?
Because I peeked a widow on a long distance, and she have more damage on that range, and she has a pocket boosted mercy on her. Instead of maybe going for that angle, I could have choose another angle that is maybe closer to the widow, there I have the advantage.
Okay, so what you just did was correct. Like, your thought process right there was correct. So you figured out that the Widowmaker killed you, that was the problem. So maybe you try out a different angle. Now I'm going to use the magical power of coaching, and I'm going to save you a lot of time. So if you were just improving on your own, then the next time you would play a game as Ashe, you would maybe try a different angle, right? But the problem is, that's a very, very slow way to improve. Because you need to wait until you get into this exact same situation again before you can try it out. And that can take a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Okay? And then you're going to figure out, so I'm going to give you a little spoiler. Let's say after like 1 week, you get into another Junkertown match, where this time, instead of going on this high ground, you maybe go to the right or to the left. But you're going to die again. Spoiler alert. You're going to die again. Okay? And then what ideally you are going to figure out is, okay, maybe the issue isn't the position that I'm taking or the angle I'm taking, maybe it's my playstyle. So you want to go for kind of a pick-based playstyle here. Can you maybe see an issue with that?
That I am exposing myself for danger, and it's like a risky playstyle.
So what exactly makes it risky in this situation? Why is it so dangerous to go for picks?
That I need to expose myself for maybe many people, and not
that's not specific to the situation. Specifically to this game, why is it dangerous to go for picks in this specific game?
Because they have double sniper.
Because they have double sniper. Okay, you cannot go for picks against double sniper, because what is their comp's only win condition?
The sniper's getting picks.
Getting picks. And you're kind of making their life very easy if you just constantly pick them on your own. Because then they're going to pick you. So that playstyle is not going to work because they are just way, way better at getting picks. You cannot go for a pick-based playstyle when there's such a big risk whenever you want to go for a pick. It doesn't matter which position you take or what angle you come from, you're going to get shit on. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So what alternative playstyle do we have? So now we know that the problem here is the pick-based playstyle into double sniper. That doesn't sound like a good idea. So what alternative do we have? How could we play instead?
We could play with behind our Reinhardt maybe and push up with him.
You don't have a Reinhardt. You're the red team. But I
Oh,
get the
fuck.
idea. You want to play with
Yeah.
you want to play with the team. Yes, correct. And
Yeah.
what do you want to do while you play with the team?
Focus on if Monkey jumping the Widow, for example, then I can join on and maybe shoot at the Widow.
Not quite. So that's something you would do if you were on a dive character. So if you're on Tracer, then your playstyle would be following the Winston. Okay.
Yeah.
But what can Ashe do that a character like Widowmaker can't? You know, so Widowmaker, she's really good at getting picks. So that's why we don't want to go for a pick-based playstyle. She's just better than us there. But what do we have? What can we do as Ashe? What are we better at than this Widowmaker?
Outputting damage.
Outputting damage. Okay. Our ultimate is also much, much better.
Yeah.
Okay. That's our strength. So her strength, Widowmaker's strength, is going for picks. Our strength here is that we have really, really good damage, DPS, way more than she does, and we have a much better ultimate. So that should be our priority. So in terms of positioning, we want to stay with our team, so it's very difficult for their snipers to get picks. And we want to abuse the fact that we have a lot of DPS, so we can focus their shields down very quickly, so they have nothing to hide behind. And we can deal a lot of tank damage in order to get our ultimate very, very quickly. And then we can use our ultimates to win fights.
Yeah.
Does that entire thought process make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions about, like, the playstyle here or how we came to that conclusion, etc.?
Not really, I think.
Okay. Then hopefully we'll adjust our playstyle. Okay, good. We're focusing the tank. Landing dynamites. Aha! Do you see what just happened?
I killed the Reinhardt.
You just killed the Reinhardt. Instead of doing the same thing you did before, like, because you could have just used your coach gun, your shift, to get up to the high ground, and you would have just died again. But instead of doing that, even though it might be unconscious, this time you just stayed with your team and you just dealt damage to the enemy Rhine. And then the enemy Rhine just gets destroyed. His shield gets melted, and then he gets melted. And then now the enemy team doesn't have a front line, so your team can just run them over. Okay? And then right here, for some reason, even though focusing tanks worked so well, now you go and take a long-range 1v1 against Widowmaker again.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. It felt like she was the biggest threat for me, so I.
Well, that's the point. She's the biggest threat to you. Why do you want to fight her? Okay, so as you can see, a little lapse in judgment. You do fortunately kill her, but that says less about how good you are and more about how much she whiffed there. Okay, you do not want to take that fight whatsoever. But assuming the enemy team comp does not change, we basically want to keep playing the same way. They switched their Reinhardt to a Zarya, which doesn't really matter that much for us. But oh look, what also happened. What else happened with the enemy team comp?
Widow swapped.
Widow
And-
swapped to Tracer.
And Reinhardt swapped.
And Reinhardt swapped to Zarya. Okay, so now we need to rethink our strategy. So whenever team comps change, that's when we need to ask ourselves if our current strategy is still correct. So against double sniper and Reinhardt, we just wanted to focus on shield and tank damage, because going for picks isn't really that viable. But now they don't have a Reinhardt shield to hide behind, and they don't have a Widowmaker who cuts off our ability to go for off angles and flanks. So now, against the enemy team comp, going for picks is viable again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the Ana doesn't have a shield, the Mercy doesn't have a shield, you know?
Yep.
Now we can go for picks if we want to. Okay, so it's very important that you ask yourself, like, okay, how can I get value with my character? What is my character good at? Because keep in mind, like Ashe can get picks, you know? With a character like Widowmaker is very one-dimensional. You can basically only go for picks as Widowmaker. There is no other viable playstyle. Like, body-shotting tanks as Widowmaker is not going to win you games. But as Ashe, you have multiple options. You know, same thing with someone like Kree. You know, with McCree, you can also go either on flanks and look for picks, or you can stay with the team and flashbang the enemy front line, or you can play counter dive McCree and just wait until they jump in and then flashbang them. So most characters have different play styles to choose from, and you need to look at the situation you're in and ask yourself which one of them is like the least risk, easiest to execute.
On cast, what kind of situation do you go for flanks?
Generally speaking, you would go for flanks in situations where the enemy team is very, very split. So you can kind of catch them one by one. Or you would do it in situations where you have nothing to lose. So, for example, if your team is... Exactly. So, for example, if you lose a team fight, then you can just go for an off angle and try to take someone with you. Or sometimes when, like, for example, you play against a Smurf, or your team is just like really, really, really bad, then you can also say, okay, if I don't do anything here, we're going to lose anyways, so I can just go for flanks.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, good. Playing aggressive. See, so right here you made a small mistake. So now we don't necessarily need to focus tanks anymore. So we don't need to deal with this D.Va. We want to look for better targets. So what could we have done instead? After you coach gun to the high ground.
Maybe go to the left. And see if I can find the supports.
Exactly. Just take 2 seconds, walk over here, and then look. Now you can go for very, very easy picks, and you don't have to worry about a Widowmaker one-shotting you. Okay. If the enemy team still had a Widowmaker and you were over here, she would kill you. She would probably be back here, and then you're just dead. But now you can stand here and you just insta-win the team fight because, like, the supports have nowhere to go. They're just getting attacked from multiple angles.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you like, the Hanzo is still a sniper. How does that change my playstyle?
So Hanzo is still dangerous, of course, but in Ashe versus Widowmaker, Widowmaker just wins.
Yeah.
With Ashe versus Hanzo, it's a little bit more even because Hanzo is projectile based.
Yeah.
Okay. That's reason number 1. And then reason number 2 is that you only have one sniper to worry about. So with Widowmaker Hanzo, with double sniper, you can't always hide from both of them. But
Yeah.
right here, for example, if you're over here, you can access the enemy backline without the enemy Hanzo being able to see you.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, Hanzo is still dangerous for you, but in this situation, that danger is fine.
Okay.
Okay. Don't die. Nice. Okay, let's see if we can get a good ulti off. You don't need to. Okay, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Again, that team fight, you kind of got carried because you didn't go for picks earlier. You wasted too much time shooting the D.Va and staying with your team.
Yeah.
Okay, Tracer getting shit on. You love to see it. Okay. So, see, now this, again, the enemy team comp has changed.
Yeah.
Can you
they have
comment on
paths.
the enemy team comp's change and how you, like, what your perspective is on that as Ashe?
They changed Hanzo to Cavs,
Mm-hmm.
so longer range battles is better to take for me.
Mm-hmm. So that's good. That's good for a pick-based playstyle. Going for going from a Hanzo to a McCree. That's good for us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
I
What else
uh,
changed about the enemy team comp?
they have a Brig instead of Mercy.
Mm-hmm. So, what are our thoughts on that as Ashe?
Uh, don't play close.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Don't play close.
Don't play close. Yes. Okay. As Ashe, we don't really ever want to play close, so
Yeah.
that shouldn't be much of a problem. What else can you think of?
I don't know.
Okay. So, is Brig easier to kill than Mercy?
Can be.
Can be, yeah. So Mercy can be harder to kill if she flies around and everything. Brig doesn't have as much mobility, but she's also a bit tankier, so it's kind of even. Okay.
Yeah.
But what does Mercy have that Brig does not have that could be annoying for us as a pick-based character?
Res.
Okay, and why is Res annoying for us?
Because if I kill someone, Mercy can just rest them.
Exactly. So the Brig swap overall is good, you know? She's not really that much harder to kill than Mercy. And now they don't have a res, which means that if you get a pick, you don't need to worry about it getting resed. And instead of a Hanzo, they have a McCree, who is easier to kill because he's very short ranged. He's not really a threat. So if you look at the enemy team comp, like, do you see how there's no one who can fight you 1v1?
Only Tracer
If she
he's-
can get to you.
Yeah.
But by the time she gets up to you here on high ground, the team fight is over. You already killed their entire team. So now when you look at the enemy team comp, you just need to go for picks very aggressively because you're basically uncontested. You can do whatever you want. Okay?
Yeah.
So this position right here is perfect. It's very aggressive. It's an off angle. You have access to the squishies in the backline. So right here, right now, you're playing this fight very good. Okay, don't whiff. Ooh, don't do that. That was a mistake. Do not ever go for a dynamite on a single target.
Okay.
Okay, right here, that McCree was a free kill. Do you see how low HP he is? All you needed to do was just one more shot, but instead of shooting him, you shoot the dynamite.
Yeah.
That is not good because that was like It's a free kill, don't fucking dynamite, In the time it takes you to fire off the dynamite, you could have fired 2 shots into the Cassidy.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that was kind of a throw, because that was a free kill. Okay, that was also kind of a get up. Okay, good. Almost a throw. Okay, we also have our ultimate. I'm not sure why we're not using it.
Yeah, I have a big problem that I don't use my ult, so.
Okay, so how do we think of our ultimate? How do we want to use it?
On a off angle. Not in the front line with the tanks, maybe.
Okay, so you want to throw it into the back line, yes?
Yeah, and early in the team fight.
So, when you jumped up to high ground here, aren't all of those criteria fulfilled? Why didn't you just bob here? What was keeping you? What were you distracted with?
Shooting the Brig.
Shooting the Brig. Okay. Just bob. It takes like if you have time to throw a dynamite at a McCree who's almost dead, you have time to press Q.
Yeah.
Okay? Just use it. Do not hesitate, because the longer you wait, like by the time you use it, you could have farmed another one,
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, your mechanics are looking pretty okay, so that's good. But yeah, again, you're just holding, just use your ult. Go! Just somewhere. Stop spawn camping baby diva. Go, ult. Pew pew. There we go. Finally. Finally we bob. Very good. Okay, good. Oh, stop with the dynamite, please. So we go for the dynamite when we go for the other playstyle. When you want to focus on ult charge. Right now we just want to get picks. And the best way to get picks is to headshot people.
Yeah.
Okay? Do not dynamite so much. Okay. And then why do you drop from high ground here?
I don't really know.
I do not know either. Okay, I am going to make you an offer. I expected us to talk a little bit more during the start of the session, but we didn't really do that. We didn't really have much to talk about, so we could just go straight into the gameplay. I think it's better if we stop the session here, and then you can schedule the other 30 minutes as a follow-up once you've had some time to improve on the things we've talked about. Okay?
Yeah.
Is that okay for you?
Yeah. We can. But how do I do that?
Oh, I give you the link. Wait 1 second. So you just go here. So
Wait, can I need if we can do like a summer up on what I need to improve.
oh yeah,
so
of course, we would do
I
that.
can
Yeah.
write that down.
Okay. So the summary is that as Ash, you have.
Wait,
Okay.
I need to have something I can write it down.
Okay. Don't worry.
I just need to make a text document. Ash, I'm ready.
Okay. So as Ash, you have 2 main playstyles. So you can go for the pick-based playstyle, or you can go for a ult-oriented tank damage, shield break, max DPS kind of playstyle. With the pick-based playstyle, you just want to focus on getting picks however you can. So going on high ground, going on off angles, and focusing squishies. With a tank-based playstyle, you want to just stay with your team, and you just shoot whatever is in front of you. You break shields, you shoot tanks, and you do not want to take any risks. You want to go for the pick-based playstyle when the enemy team comp is easy to pick and there's not a lot of people who can contest you. So double sniper is very, very bad for you, but the team comp at the end where they had like a Tracer Kree and like Ana Brig, that's a very good team comp to play picks into.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas if they have something to contest you, like double sniper or a pocketed Ash or something, then you can go for the playstyle that focuses more on just tank and shield damage. And then in terms of specific decision making, do not use your dynamite on single targets. Only use it when you go for kind of an ult-based playstyle, or when you throw it over a Reinhardt shield or something like that. Because just shooting people in the head is more effective than dynamite most of the time. And then with your ultimate, do not hesitate using it. It is not an ultimate that requires a lot of setup. Just use it to start the team fight.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Then I'm quickly going to explain how to schedule the follow-up. So you just go on that link. And then
I need to find it.
I send it to you in DMs.
Yeah.
You go to schedule Overwatch session.
Schedule Overwatch session.
And then you scroll down to where it says Overwatch session follow-up, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's the one that you schedule.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, perfect. You know the drill. If you have any questions, you can just send me a DM. Focus on the things we've talked about, and I'll see you soon.
Yep.
Have a good one. See ya.
You too. Bye.